Family, this is your brother Abdul Adud, aka Questman, coming at you live, Soul Journey of Life, Conscious Black Social Media. And perhaps you are probably asleep right now, um, as I will be here shortly. So I'm not going to hold you too long. But I wanted to make sure that I just brought to your attention, uh, something of an announcement, and maybe perhaps just a few words to tag to it. Um, Well, to make a long story short, or to start off with, first let me where's my manners? Where are my manners? Salam alaikum, shalom, peace and blessings be with you, dear family. Um, I've been very, very busy on so many levels, work, family, you name it. And also, I'm not sure how many of you been able to take a note of the promo clip that was going around. Um, the new Questman project that is talking about. And today is the first release, um, or the release of the first part of the project, the first single. We Can See is the name of that single. And that's the first of several parts of the project, perhaps a four part project, 5 part project, but something definitely to look forward to, and to, especially if you like original content, original hip hop, hip hop that all members of the family, irrespective of age, can listen to. Then you definitely want to make sure you stay tuned for the things that are coming up, and keep an eye out, be it on souljourneyoflife.org or any other of the music platforms, and stay tuned to associated videos in connection with those songs. In fact, um, I'm going to put some content out here that I can say, um, keep a lookout for, a premiering video, music video, very soon, very soon, is what I can tell you. A lot of hard work, a lot of effort, and I'm the type of person that when I put something together music wise, I like it to be, you know I compare, like, previous projects, and I say, well, I did that and that in this project. I want to do something fresh, something that takes it to another level. So I wanted to get that out there, and I'd like to be able to, invite you to, when this live is over, if you come across, the opportunity to take a look at this live, just to consider the question in the description, and I'm curious as to what you and how you might respond to that. Just put your comment in that description, and perhaps I could get an opportunity to review it, and we can have a further discussion on that, because for I got a few things happening here. For quite some time, we utilized hip hop as a vehicle, and for communicating our way, doing all kinds of stuff, right? But now it's like a lot of things have changed. You understand, with how hip hop is being viewed, used, and so on. So, I'm kind of curious to see what thinking minds might consider about that, um, as far as conversation worthy, and let's have that discussion, because some of us hold to like core values when it comes to this hip hop. Is more than just music. It's more than just dance, but there's actually a culture behind it. You understand? A creed, if you will, or, a way, there's principles that go behind it that people who don't really understand the actual culture of hip hop may have no knowledge about. You understand? You got people who believe that we don't have a culture, we don't even have our own style or language or nothing, and all those things are far from the truth. Um, no matter where you are in the world, if you live anywhere long enough, you're going to develop an identity. You're going to develop character. Hold on a second here. You're going to hold on. Let me give me one message out here. Um, Character, personality, language. I would say that all these things, in some way or fashion, were encompassed in the culture of hip hop. We literally had our own lingo, our own words, our own style. Um, Things, ways that we use hip hop as a vehicle for communicating trends and ideas, things like that. And just things. It unified us. It unified us in so many ways. So, in today's time, something else I think has happened to, or at least has happened in a way that's being associated or attributed to being hip hop. I think that many authentic artists would agree that a lot of the things going on today don't have any real connection with hip hop, and I've even heard it said through some voices that they'd rather what what's being presented be identified separate from hip hop and not associated with hip hop. And I think if you review the things going on, you'll agree that these are two different things happening here. So I just want to say that I'm actually pleased with the outcome of how the music has progressed, the singles, the album, the rumors of the new album, um, and one of the things I like to feel like a bit of confidence. You understand, when it comes to um, what I put into an art form. You understand? Because I'm the type of person, I don't like to put anything out that I feel needs more attention, or is not satisfactory to me. But at this point, I think that I was able to reach that objective. Give me one quick second here because I wanted to remember something. But I believe I've reached that objective. Uh, let's see, where did we put? I think it's in here. And so, yeah, I don't know if I put this. It might be in here. I just want to make sure I have this stuff where it needs to be. Um, I'll give you an example here. I'm looking at something here. My partner had a little sound test that I wanted to do. Anyway, yeah, so I thought. I don't know if you had the opportunity to see those clips, but heck, I figured I'd go ahead and I'll play them again. Um, but I was trying to find something that I was looking at earlier, and not not succeeding in finding it. But sometimes if I type in keywords, that'll help out, but not this time. Yeah, but I'm curious to about opinions on hip hop of today. You understand? Um, like what the opinions are as far as I know some people are saying hip hop is dead. I know some people have beef with the artists of today for a variety of reasons. Um, you know, because there's a lot of things happening in the world, and people who once believed in hip hop as a vehicle for communicating to the melanated community, aren't finding that being the case today. There's a lot of selfishness, there's a lot of false pride and self destruction going on. Um, let's see if I can type a different search word in. It's not going to show me that, is it? But I do have it. I do have it uploaded, so I can show you that way. I just like to avoid all that. Anyway, um, so I'm just saying that there's a lot of people who are, or there's some people in intellectual circles who are somewhat disturbed, by how some of the artists have either ducked and dodged, speaking out against injustice and things going on, or you got artists who um, milk the drama for their own aims, for their own gains, and I mean, basically revealing a kind of a selfish mindset because they don't care whether you destroy yourself by what they promote and propagate to you in a form of violence, drugs, things like that. They don't care that that's the case. They don't care of the kinds of immorality and shameful behavior that they push and promote in their music content. They don't care about any of that. All they care about is that this is it's become lucrative for them because some amongst the powers that be would prefer that be the case because that works more towards their agenda, their aim. And some people in particular generations might not be able to connect with the fact that hip hop, at its core, um, was is a tool of a people, is a culture of a people, a mind or an idea. You understand? A way. Um, and there's probably some other words that could probably fit in that. But let's see here. Give me a second here because I want to bring you guys your attention to where you can get the latest single. And like I said, keep an eye out for notifications. Make sure you like, share, subscribe this as well. But keep an eye out for the premiering video the first single. And there's several videos and singles and projects that are all involved in this, and I'm really hoping that you vibe the way I vibe, because for me, I can do a project, I can do art, and be mused by it all by my lonesome. I'm not. I'm the type of person, I don't really need all the fanfare and all that. If people congratulate, give props or whatever, fine. But I'm like a person that kind of walks to the beat of my own drum. Sometimes I like my own work. If I am impressed by it, and at the same time I can hate my own work if I'm not. I'm like, nah, this is not quality material here. But at the end of the day, I'm my own judge and jury in the matter. And anything outside of that, it's either is complimentary or otherwise, or constructive criticism even. But I kind of will move in a certain direction, um, either way it goes, if my heart is convinced that that's the way that I should be going. Um, yeah, I'm reading a bunch of things at the same time. Got something here, got something there, something at the corner of the screen here, and the main screen right here. But give me a second here, and I want to see. I want to show you where you can purchase it directly from the site, as well as it's published all across all the different music platforms or what have you. Um, what's interesting, you may not know, is that none of the promotions that were put out revealed any of the music. And I did that intentionally because I want you to be able to experience it anew. You understand? And unassociated with the promotional clips, the promotional videos. I want you to be able to experience the singles and the album that's rumored to come out soon. I want you to be able to experience it anew, and not like the previous album. The previous album was it had a purpose that was for it. This album has a purpose that is for it, because there's different areas that I focus on in my own life, in the world around me. You could say, if you think about the titles, the title of the previous album was Just Passing Through. You'll see soon enough the title of the upcoming album. And everything, as people know, when it comes to me and music, everything's linked to each other. All the songs are somehow tied together and kind of paint a bigger story. You understand? A bigger story of what I observe, what I pay attention to in life, um, what matters to me, in as I live in this world, or what I observe. But let's see something here. So you know what I might what I'll do. I want to, before I do anything, I want to just give you an idea uh, of a song from the previous album. And the reason why I want to do that is because when I was working to, put that previous album together, I had a heavy emphasis on wanting to collaborate with other brothers and sisters. And while I was able to do that, one of the things I often notice is how challenging it is to be able to connect with other people on a common project. You understand? And either us having the time, or being in the same city, or at least being in a way where we're able to communicate. Then on top of that, sometimes equipment could be an issue. Just a variety of things when it comes to getting everybody on board on the same page, and because we all have something that's important to us that we're doing. But so the first album, that was a challenge. I mean, I was able to pull through with some solid brothers and sisters, namely, I should say, for example, in the case of "Hold It Down," the song that I'll play here shortly, featuring the sister Nikwa B. that you know, I was surprised, one, that I would be able to connect with the sister and invite her to be able to do that. I was appreciative of that for sure, but it was very challenging because you'd have some people who would say that they're going to do something and then they don't show up or show through. So then you have to, like, man, like in the case of Hold It Down, I was determined that it had to have a certain type of content to collab with what I was doing. You understand? It couldn't just be any voice, any sound, anybody. And when I heard the sister Niqua B's lyrics, I was like, that's it right there. That goes with Hold It Down. It's like, when somebody vibes or connects or sees, I call it seeing. When somebody sees your lane or the plane you're on, is a very comforting experience, because it's like kindred spirits, family ties. It's like, here's my sister being a sister. And so I had to come in the same song and be a brother. So let's check out Hold It Down, because that was one of the hardest songs to get collaboration with, that I was happy when I was able to do it, to get collaboration. Let's play that song.
My bad. I thought the shop was closed. I was just like, this is my work. What's this right here? Hold on. Hey, got an idea. Check this out. What are you waiting for? Let go. V's and flows for them with the head still attached to their shoulders. I make amends for what I failed to see until I got a little older. Versatility is a necessity in today's business. Take that as a proverb. You may think it's awkward, but it's really just what I observe. Never mind whatever you heard. I'm Questman, so much flow in sync with the flight of a carnivorous bird. I get high off the knowledge of how to spin around my myrrh. Kaaba, Allahu Akbar, blessed when I honor my mama and baba. Disrespect them and it's you I clobber. Aha! Just when you thought all those rainy days would keep me weighted, I rise up off the ground like one snapped out of being medically sedated. I salute the melanated, the froze, the locks, and the braided. Naturally, I make it a habit of keep on loving me, so I'm never bothered by the hatred. You see the frames, but I'm that nerd that's naughty by nature. Ice water vapor, flight of the navigator. Put that on paper, sign right there. I tickle the feminine in the wind, tasting candy-coated raindrops enough to make your head spin. Brother, this is not a ring you really want to get in. Really? I'm a wordsmith, make the nerves twitch. After you heard this, you might just want to roll another. Hold up, as I spit for the righteous, yeah, you might need to pass that as we battle the current crisis. I see red and blue lights in the streets. I bow my head because the fallen carry the same blood my heart beats. Hold it down, UNIFY. Hold it down. Hold it down, UNIFY. Hold it down.
Spin that pluralistic, high quality gold subtone submission. My flow is sadistic. Call me the wordsmith. Keys to the untold stories that bring your passion into glories. Educating the sun, moon, and youth. The universal which introduces logic and nice ideologies. Flying on philosophies, carrying the baby of a dying breed. Correlating ancestors to restore the community. Praying on a cloud, lifting on my knees, soaring on cosmic energies. To reverse the mindset of the ignorant, building abundance and breaking down generational curses. As I smirk, giving you positive hurt. Rebuking the vapor that we breathe in and calibrates our mental to damage, disfigure, disturb that thought process, sorting out the weak. Seeking to kill, still in the destroy. The blessings made on a stone of the exhilarating cake that celebrates the victory set out for the world. Exhilarate prosperity.
Hold it down, UNIFY. Hold it down. Hold it down, UNIFY.
Gathering my collectiveness. Nico B.
Yes, indeed. We're back again. Salute and shout out to Sister Niqua B for helping me participate on that one. And that wasn't done, just out of any old thing. It was actually done by if I want to say, a recommendation, or someone who knew someone else. And the someone that I'm talking about is another collaborative effort that was a success, in my opinion. And this is going further into time, where a movement took place. You understand? Boots on the ground took place. And, you had a brother by the name of Grandmaster Jay who put some boots on the ground representing the rights to bear arms and defend ourselves in the presence of a tyrannical, establishment, wherever it may be manifested, right? And so, there were those of us who wanted to find ways to kind of represent and demonstrate and show our support and show our alliance to a righteous cause, right? And so one of the things I always like to do is use whatever skills or tactics I can to do my part. I'm like, well, if I can't do this, if I can't do that, well, what can I do? And so, well, I come up from the hip hop world, so amongst other things, I'm kind of like a jack of all trades. I do a lot of things, but that was one of my main things growing up in life was hip hop. So I was like, man, I want to collaborate with some brothers and sisters that are feeling what's going on right now, and in our in our land, in our time. And I came across a brother that was presenting some solid lives. I was like, man, these brothers are talking the stuff that we need to be hearing. And that was at the same time where we were dealing with just a lot of issues with the powers that be trying to put bogus charges on brother GMJ, and they ended up putting it to where he became incarcerated, went to trial, lost the trial, and was sentenced, and to this day we're fighting appeals for that brother, supporting his fight for appeals, I should say. But in any given case, the song that I want to put up here next is kind of this is the outcome or an example outcome of, for me, the kind of vibe that I was feeling during that time. And I kind of I communicated with the brother who goes by the name of Bossman Blake, and I believe he's the chief or the main man of Body to Beat Global Music. Got it right the first time. And I was like, I'm trying to collaborate on something. I'm trying to, we need, we gotta, use all the vehicles, all hands on deck type of situation, right? And me, I was wanting to kind of revive my spirit or my motivation to do things, to participate and be active again in the community, because sometimes, I'll be honest with you, man, sometimes you can get beat down emotionally, by the things you see going on in society. It can really tear you up inside, because you see stuff and you're like, how can this even happen? Why aren't we responding to these things in a way that seems to be like instinctive? But here we are, but every now and then you walk the path and you come across a select few thorough, authentic brothers and sisters. And for me, that's always a breath of fresh air, to meet real people when like, man, these people are on that level. These are people you can count on, because that, at the end of the day, these are the real ones that will show up. And so, I've always respected that since I was a little child, since I was a teen, because my first example of that was my own father, who, I saw, do things that represented, what courage was all about. When you're not afraid to hold your ground, stand your ground, and resist, oppression and whatnot in your neighborhood, at the hands of the people who were supposed to be serving and protecting. Anyway, so salute to my father, and rest in peace, your soul. Let me go ahead and play this song for you. This song is called Twisted Lies. I'm just kind of going in memory lane a little bit as I build up to what I want to encourage you guys to make sure you bring along your wallet and drop 99 cents on this single. That's the first part of what's happening. Right. So Twisted Lies, the vibe I got when Twisted Lies was presented to me, it was kind of presented the old fashioned way a little bit, where you fill in the blanks. You know what I mean? You get the track. You know, artist one has already got their part, but you get the part that you're supposed to. That's your spot right there. So I'm like, okay, that's what I've got to work with. I'm coming right after the brother. I think there might have been a hook or something, and so I'm like, okay. So when I was writing, because I'm kind of a wordsmith. I like to play with words. I like to kind of like it's like a paintbrush to me. You know what I mean? The mic, the pen, the paper is like a paintbrush and palette. So, you know, I'm thinking to myself, I want to express and emphasize the state of affairs in the melanated community. You understand? And where my aspirations of said affairs I would like them to be. Or at least, you know, for my part, you know, like for me, I always see myself as ready, you know, to be supportive of brothers and sisters wherever we may be in the community. Because what else am I going to do with my life that will be of value and importance, where I can say, well, look, when I lived this life, this is what I did, and this is how I stood. You know, I can look back and like, okay, while I lived on earth, I was just passing through, but I didn't waste time. You know, I didn't just, you know, skip through and duck and dodge and try to find my way through a little rat hole somewhere. Like that's what some people are doing nowadays. You know, they want to get popular, they want to get famous, but when it comes to actually showing and proving, you know, they become a no-show. But they like to make sure they milk, you know, they, like I said earlier, they milk the resources from their own community in an effort to, they step up by pressing you down. You understand? They step up, you know, imagine, oh man. Because I'm seeing, there's some arguments that I'm seeing in the community right now. I see some intelligent brothers that have some solid points to talk about when it comes to our use of the hip hop vehicle. I think that there's a way, and I've seen it, and that's why, like even the brother I was talking about now, I appreciate, because I see where people can use the tools of hip hop and still communicate useful content, while at the same time holding on to their own vibes, the things that make them, you know, feel right, feel good, you know, when it comes to their music. But at the same time, being versatile enough to be able to teach a lesson every now and then, to drop some knowledge every now and then, you know, to rightly guide every now and then. You know, that's hard for some of these big timers, you know, that like to flash everything. It's hard for them to do. You don't hear them doing it. Hang tight. So, I got a lot of things happening here today, it appears. Let me go ahead and get into this Twisted Lie song. And, because what I'm doing is I'm giving you a bit of commentary of what has led to what's happening today. All right, so let me go ahead and open up and share this page. And let's go. And I'm going to go ahead and put this up here, share the page. Like this. I think the sound's on. Boom. There we go. Yep.
ID, please.
Let's take a moment for the ancestors. A lot was homeless in the bad weather, and that's the reason we should stick together. Cause with each other we do better, we can never settle. See, y'all people took a lot of beatings. Don't disregard the teachings. The heart is where I'm reaching. How is it so? Why people so deceitful? When we begging to be equal, tell me how we beat them. And everybody cannot be a leader. You gotta learn to follow first before you lead. Even anathema, they gon' have to fail. Tell me, can you really tell? Do your people really care? Let her know that I'ma be there. Make them see hell. Yeah. And we don't give a fuck about no enemy. Feeling me. Cause the remedy is what we really need. It ain't really hard to see. We got too many people. Just know that I never will leave you. And I'ma ride with my people to the end. That's just what it is. What it is. I'm going all about my Questman with the boss man. Soul journey of life. Yo.
ID.
Woke up this morning, it all came so crystal clear. That ancestral voice screaming loudly in my ear. Looking through these framed spectacles, a tactical perspective tells me more than meets the eye. Living amongst the pitiful, visual, blurry, the streets of the day. Hurry, trying to stay out the way. Really, the drive is inevitable. This ancient black skin's got me spinning parables, and still ain't ready. Even though devil tactics no longer hide behind ghostly masks. Do you really have to add? I refuse to release my testicles. The best among us will be those who unify. Black thoughts over barbecue sauce, round table talk, art of war. I'm ready for battle. If my kinfolk still caught with the babble, blood is thicker than water. I believe in us till this fish bites the gravel. All I wanna do is see my people unify for real. Old broken nation, the pain heal.
ID, please.
Yeah, it kind of helps if the mute button wasn't muted, then you could probably hear me talk and run my mouth a little better. Um, so right here on the screen, what you're looking at is this is the promotion for what is up and coming. You can see that out right now, like right now, especially on Soul Journey of Life, the Light Dome. If you go to the website, you can check it out and purchase it directly from the website, cutting out all middlemen. You understand? Cutting out all the other platforms. But if that's too complicated, there's always Apple, Spotify, Amazon, whatever. But the preference is to go to the family's website and check out We Could See. And I am curious to how you will enjoy that song. Again, I want to say a lot of effort and work was put into it. I like to try to approach people who I believe are qualified to participate in helping to get the job done. So that's a shout out to, once again, BTBG Music. Also, there's a brother that's overseas, I believe, that I've been kind of favoring his style of music. Goes by Just Dan, right? So I want to give a shout out in this live to that individual, Just Dan, for these tracks, for the beats that are you'll hear throughout a lot of the work that I've been putting forward. Because like I said, for me, it's art is quality thing. You understand? Art is something that your heart is going into. I understand that a lot of these, not a lot, but there's a generation of people who are doing a lot of cut and paste things. I mean, I literally hear, I heard a female have a style, and then I hear another person have that same style, and then I hear this brother have the same style, and then another person the same style. I'm like, is this all people are doing nowadays? And I'm speaking this because of the content that these uh, mediums of the style are using. You understand? And that's why I said when you deal with thorough people, solid people, you could respect them because you know that when they open their mouth, they're it's real. But there's a lot of just what I want to say. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of there's another word I want to use. Is it manipulation? Because corruption is in there, but there's another word that I want to use. There's corruption. There is self-destruction. There is demoralization. You understand? All of these things are going on, and they are directed to us as a people. You understand? And they're utilizing our cultural methods to do it. And enriching the pockets of those amongst us gullible enough to take that, to dance with the devil in that way. So, this is something I feel like it's a fight on a whole nother level. And because of the person I am who has an appreciation for historic hip hop or historic culture that comes from us, wherever we be on earth, wherever we've lived on earth and manifested on earth, when something comes from us, I just have a passion for it. I have a heart for it because there is soul. You understand? There's soul in what we do when it comes from us. There's something deep about it. When you listen to brothers and sisters, poets, Maya Angelou, when you listen to all the stuff that comes from us, the great speakers and orators, the great activists, it's always something soulful in everything we do and put forth. And so for me, I can't just sit on the sideline and watch our tools, our methods be sabotaged by people who've been bought out, understand, for the purpose of sabotage. So we have to do what we have to do. So that's why, like I said, I wanted to put as much effort into the matter as I possibly could, without too much, care regarding, what opinions might be. When it comes to me and music, I'm going to present it the way my heart, says to present it. I'm taught to follow the heart. I'm taught to listen to the heart. And so that's what you'll experience when you listen to each of these songs. You will experience in each song its own flavor, its own experience. One song, will give you a whole different experience than the song you've listened to before. And that's the thing that you'll find that is different from the previous album. While even then, I always try to take another step ahead every time I do another song. But I feel that was catering towards the interest that was necessary for the boots on the ground, for people to become conscious of our need to step up. And we still have to have that need. Now I believe we need to continue to have motivation to restructure our thinking, to restructure our views on life, our views on ourselves, to restore ourselves, and in so doing, develop fortification for our minds. We're in a time where we have a clear opportunity to once and for all break some historic chains that we're still tied down to, believe it or not. Like I said, until we're able to call something our own with no exceptions, like this is ours. You understand? This land that I stand on is mine, is my people's. This language is mine, my people. This way, mine, my people. And you can't sabotage it anymore. You can't take away from me what's mine anymore. My identity, my name, my culture, my tongue, my ways. All those things that mean what it is to be us. You can't take it away anymore. And we're going to keep on driving that in. And that is what we do along the way. And that's the title of the upcoming album. So yes, if you would, I'm going to share with you one more song from the past, and not so past, because you can still, go ahead and go to the website and get these songs if you haven't gotten them already, or make sure your friend has them if they don't have it downloaded on their phone yet, or saved, or subscribed to, or added to your playlist or what have you. But let's go ahead and check out the message.
Sometimes I wonder if that be the voice of God within the force of the heartbeat when it thunders. In the land, through it all, the way, words, divine, must say, a message. One would do well to listen. Take heed. In the name of Allah, you've been warned. The compassionate, the merciful. I saw the approaching of a storm. People fearing for their lives, despair, regret, and the cries. It's amazing how we turn to the God only when the drama rise. Meanwhile, see the hypocrisy at an all-time high. Immoralities seen as a token of pride. Imagine looking at the world through a God's eye view, observing the hearts of men, the evil that people do. Imagine the effects on the mind of a newborn child. Looks to his father who thinks he's a woman now. How on earth can you believe you're worthy? Confused, the days of your life abused, misused. Sons of the ancients, draped away in the great abominations. In the belly of a beast nation, lost souls for sale in the pandemonium manifestation. Sin propagation. These are the days when the souls will wish to rest. These are the days when the righteous are put to test. Who among you will stand and fight the fight to stay true? Seems only a chosen few. The prophets and sages, sacred words that grace the pages, now perceived as all but lies and hated. By the token of time, man is at loss. I now see the real meaning of the blood on the cross. We crucify our own salvation. I sing a song of redemption. Am I my brother's keeper? Reality seen through the eyes of a dreamer. It's a wonder how the heavens aren't yet rent asunder. Forgive me, Lord, I didn't know. Just an amateur. False gods, graven images, all the damages. I remain thirsty for divine mercy. A soul journey in a world of vanity and drapery. I see a light in the addict. Those who've had enough break away from the madness. Notwithstanding all the doom and gloom and sadness, never despair in the end. Blessed be the righteous, keep the light lit. Our victory, focus on the highest. All praises to the greatest, to the wisest. Taught by the pen, the way. Freedom from our crisis, truly divine bliss.
Yes, indeed, family. Let's go ahead and take a look at something here. Press the wrong button. That's what happens when you press the wrong button. There we go. Let's take a look at something. Let me move this flyer to the side just a second. So we'll just do that. Oh, right there. Boom. And go ahead and put this other little thing back up here. Put this one back up there, the big one. Let's take a look at the website where you can, purchase your own single, your own copy, your own download. The website is souljourneyoflife.com/the light dome. Or you could just go to Soul Journey of Life and click the light dome. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean. So we go here, go to Soul Journey of Life, share. So here's Soul Journey of Life. And if if you're on a laptop or something like that, or a tablet, you probably will get the better view, but you can see it on your smartphones as well. But in this perspective of view, you're going to see there's buttons at the top here. Just like you've got buttons over here, you got buttons up here. Here's the light dome. If I click the light dome, it should carefully take me to where you can get, Questman related content, music, especially the latest right here, We Could See. As also you can see other content as well. And even by the way, for those that I know there was somebody who was talking to me about this. I finally was able to get this the Sound Master. This is a blast from the past right here. Why is Rattle Bones so important to me? Because it's kind of like where things began when it comes to the hip hop. And even though this song, this performance is the second time that I recorded this. The first time I was much younger, but this time I went ahead and I wanted to do it because I created a video to go with it. So that you will hear me at age I think I'm in my 20s when I perform it in that song. I'm in my 20s. I think I even look 20 right there. Anyway, so Rattle Bones is out. But that goes back in the days. That's what's going on there. Yes, indeed. Rattle Bones. That's my all-time favorite song. That's my all-time favorite song. But I've got to, tell you, I'm really impressed with the work. And I'll tell you, I got to give a shout out to brother Bossman Blake. I believe the founder of BTBG Music, because this was a challenge. Because I don't have the best high-tech quality of equipment anymore when it comes to recording and the sound quality and things like that. So it became a challenge because when you're recording and you're trying to mix and master music together, you get the voice, you got popping sounds, and so it takes creativity to be able to say, well, look, this sound, you can't get rid of it, so we got to figure out some way to deal with that in a creative way. And that's exactly what happened. And I was pretty impressed at how the quality came out when it came to the final results. So yeah, I definitely have to give a shout out there because that required some patience. I could think of some people now that would have given up in a heartbeat from back in the days when it came to doing something like that. They're like, oh man, I'm sorry, we can't do anything. But yeah, we were able to get the job done and in a timely manner because everything for me is always soul journey of life. It means I do exactly the things that I keep talking about. All these words that I say to you, I don't just say I say them for fun, but not just for fun. Because for me, I like to have a flaming lit spirit, you understand, full of just like passion for what I do and passion just for being, existing and encouraging, right things, thought, intelligence, learning, all of that. So whenever I get into my lane, it's like I get amped up. And sometimes even I have to snap out of it. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Deep breaths like that. So yes, indeed, go ahead to the website, souljourneyoflife.org, and check out what you need to be checking out. And you see what you need to do right there, and show your support. Because this is all a part of the journey, family. And if anything, I want you to have something fresh to enjoy. That might be somewhat unique compared to what some people are used to listening to in today's day and age. That's why, like I said, that's why I salute many of the solid brothers and sisters who were able to perform and present their lyrics and whatnot in their music while holding on to the value and culture of hip hop. I mean, I've come across some brothers on my IG, on the YouTube or what have you, and with some solid, strong content that, and not just strong, but where you could still see their art in it. You could see that they were being creative. They were being strategic with how they presented their content. To me, that's what I turn on that's what I turn on the radio for. Is I want to hear something that's showing art. You know, if I go to a museum, I want to see art. I want to see plain wall, abstract painting, red and blue lines, another abstract painting, red and blue lines, another abstract painting, red and blue lines. Oh, what do you know? Over here, another abstract painting with red and blue lines, where everything is just like a carbon copy of the next. No artistic, no uniqueness. You understand? I believe that the Most High is unique, and when manifested in us, we express uniqueness. Each one of us having a unique strand of DNA that makes you who you are. So why not express that in our art, in our music? Why does everybody have to sound the same? I had a song like that back in the days, by the way. So I had to shoot that in there. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm just saying, I couldn't stand if like I go into a place and you're buying, some music. You want this CD to be different than this CD, because otherwise you just buy another copy of that, right? Why get this CD and this one sounds just like this, just with some different words and a different person doing it? But you want something that's refreshing. And that's what I'm saying to you, brothers and sisters. That's exactly what you'll get with your brother Questman. Because, like I said, I like to have fun. I like to be serious. I like to be thorough, real, authentic, serious, thorough, and at the same time, smile about it. With my missing tooth that I chipped on a date seed. Imagine that. So there's the website. I was going to tempt y'all with a little sound bite, but I'm not going to, because I want you to go and hear it for yourself. I'm confident that you hear it for yourself, you'll be able to start to connect with your brother Questman a bit better, a bit more. Just like the sister was able to connect with Rattle Bones, you'll be able to connect even more with the songs of the day from brother Questman. Let's see here. I can close that. I don't need that out there. But while you're at souljourneyoflife.org, you might as well go ahead and subscribe to the website anyway. You understand? Because we need to start communicating amongst ourselves through our own methods, our own platforms and whatnot, and just stopping by, even if all you can do is share, some thoughts and ideas. Why not do it on Soul Journey of Life? You understand? And there's multiple things, multiple ways that can benefit our people in so doing. Now, so I want to put out there, I put the question in the description. Let me go back here. And before I do, let's do something here. I got to do these things. I've got to do these things. So in this live, the what you see in that description says today marks the first single being released in connection with rumored upcoming album release. But my question for you is, what does hip hop mean to you these days? What does it mean to you? And is it still a suitable apparatus for conveying us to us? Because that's what it used to do. Is it still capable of doing that? Are we in a day and age where we've exhausted creativity, talent, art, or does it still exist? And I would like to see us share examples of that. And I'll tell you something about some examples I had growing up. Those who motivated me to even participate as an artist, or see myself as someone that has some type of talent in this, because I could have done a variety of things, and I have: paint, draw, art, poetry, this, that, and the other, right? And I fix stuff too. Did you know that I fix stuff? Learned that from my father. But I go back in the days, I can go back to Curtis Blow, Biz Markie, but I want to go back to the time where I started to kind of wake up to hip hop as like man, I'm feeling this. And the earliest point that I could think of was Leaders of the New School. Then Original Gun Clappers, Boot Camp Click, maybe even before that, the Fab Five. I'm trying to go further back there. I remember Rapping Forte. I kind of liked, there was a few songs he did that I was really digging. Names, you guys probably, if I say these names, you're like, Rapping Forte, who's Rapping Forte? All I can tell you is you gotta go back in the days. And what I got from some of these brothers, like I used to work at this auto plant, right? And it was about 40 miles from where I used to live. It was a 40-mile drive there and home. And on the way there, my vibe music was Tribe Called Quest, right? It was Tribe Called Quest or Boot Camp Click or Helter Skelter. That was my drive. While eating a Nestle Crunch bar and a cup of hot chocolate. So when I got to work, I was as wired as I am now. The only difference now is I'm a little older, so it's kind of slowed down a little bit, but I'm still able to snap you out of it if necessary. But yeah, that was my thing, back and forth. And we used to sit in the projects on top of those electric boxes, just going off, for our latest, demonstration, our latest lyrics, you know what I mean? And it got so much of a thing of what we used to do, in addition to everything else that we used to do. We were young, that people used to be like, man, we heard y'all, we heard about y'all, but we think we could take y'all. And of course, me, I was big-headed in those days. I was like, oh, is that so? Well, don't mind if I allow you the opportunity to demonstrate what you claim you could do. What's funny is that I actually had a confrontation with somebody like that one time, and that was how I won that confrontation. Because I think we were getting ready to fight in that scenario. We were getting ready to fight, and I think because the guy wasn't expecting me to come at him the way that I did, that might have thrown him all the way off, allowed me to win. But I think that was what happened, and I wasn't trying to boggle his mind. I wasn't trying to make him think like, who's this dude? I was just trying to get him to leave me the heck alone. But anyway, these dudes came up to us, like they said, we heard y'all can rhyme. And like, yeah, that's what we do. We think we could take y'all. And in those days, battle rap was a thing, things like that. And really, I've never been much of a battle rapper because, I like to scribe carefully my content. And I had some rhymes that I could scribe some stuff up to chop or fold down if it was necessary. Because when you are artists, when you are art of war, you have to be able to, come correct at any time, on call, on the spot, whatever. You got to be able to have like a caddy, a kit of ammo and whatnot ready to go. And so sometimes we just had a set of rhymes meant for that occasion. But on this particular case, I didn't have those rhymes. But instead, I actually had a freestyle, and I wasn't even thinking about freestyling at the time. But actually, when they was rhyming, because they was doing their little thing first, you know, that's how it sounded to me. I was like, man, really? That's what he's doing? So the sister brought up Rattle Bones. The verses in that song was originally a freestyle. Kind of, it was refined later on to make a song out of it, but the whole element of Rattle Bones was what I did to them, and people were just like off there, and that was what solidified and made official that Questman would live on. So, because it was like that moment, like, really, that's what they did to that rhyme. That's how they feel about it. They liked it. And you know, there was some ladies there. You know, you got the ladies on us. You can't go home with your tail tucked. That'd be too much of an embarrassment, because then there would be no Questman from that point on. If I blew that up in front of all those people and the sisters we was trying to talk to anyway, we would have went home like, like what happened, Abdul? I don't know, man. You know, I was trying to rhyme and I didn't. And anyway, man. I'm just remembering that but I cannot, because they came with that style. It was like so monetary. And then my homeboy, he did his little flow. He dropped his rhyme, and you know, all that did was, while I'm watching everybody, I'm watching him, and I'm just like, ooh, I'm about to bust a move on you, Rude. I just can't. It was just like, because I'm looking them up and down, I'm looking at the bogus shoes, I'm looking at the gear, and you know, I was coming kind of raggedy myself, but you know, you can turn the camera on the opponent, and so nobody even notices to care, especially when you win the encounter. So yeah, that was a historic moment for me. That's why this song is so important, because it's history. It's where Questman gained his courage, gained his momentum to do, you know, what he does on the mic. So, so there's big history behind that. Anyway, what I wanted to do with this particular album and the singles that you see coming out is I wanted to kind of bring you into my world of my mind, so to speak. My, you know, just how if I could put a microphone inside my heart and it has to talk, this album is what you might hear. If I could just put a microphone up and turn it, you know, where it could pick up the voice of the heart, this album is what you would hear. Especially Can We See? Or We Can See. We Can See. This is what you would hear. And each song is kind of is representative of that, you know, where I wanted to express more of is what I was doing, because I've always seen myself as a bit of an abstract lyricist, right? Where I don't follow, you know, the rules too well, just kind of like the way I am in a religio spiritual sense. You know, I don't see myself as the quote unquote stereotypical orthodox believer. You understand? Because there's just too much to know. There's too much to think about. There's too many facts that you like. Wait a minute. You know, it's too much thought to be boxed in for me. You know, that'd be like tying a scientist's hands behind his back and still telling him to do his experiments. And he's like, he's gonna look at you like, well, you know, I kind of need my hands in this as well as my mind. Or you can have your mind, but you can't think outside the box. Then how are we going to make next level breakthroughs? Just how do we do this? So that's kind of like what happened for me. That's kind of how I see myself when it comes to my travel through this world. You know, I grew up, especially during my teenage, my younger years and adult years, professing the creed of Islam, and I still do to this day, mind you. So that means you can rightfully call me a Muslim, and no shame of that for me, at least. But my point in saying that is not as seen on TV. Because I kind of like I said earlier, I walk to beat of my own drum because at the end of the day, you have to follow your own heart. Sometimes, if I feel like if I were to observe or put my life on the, if I were to put my life at the expense of someone else, I'd probably, let's say I had to breathe to do so, I'd probably suffocate because oftentimes, people who are supposed to be walking the way or the path you're walking, they're either not or they don't always show up. So you end up like, what the heck, money? I'm here. Where? The next thing you know, you're gonna find out you kind of have to you have to roam alone and get the job done alone. Like, man, I came here to build a house. I got the tools, I got everything together, but I'm the only one here building it. Let's get to work. So, so that's kind of what's happened to me throughout the years, where, I like to express the terms and titles and labels that are usually associated with me through their meanings and not like some type of badge or some type of stamp. I'm a Muslim, not like that, but through its meaning, through its context. And so all of what I'm saying here, like the person that I am, or the way I look out and see the world, is kind of what what my intention was to express through the songs of the album that are coming up here. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, KRS-One, Goody Mob, Far Side, of course, Roots, can't leave the Roots out of the situation. Rest in peace, Phife Dawg. So, shout out to Q-Tip and Brand Nubian, Most Def. These are names, Busta Rhymes. These are names that were like factors in the sounds that, meant that connected to me as I grew up. So, and I say that to say because some in this day and age, people always like to try to associate with you, or you're like this or you're like that. I'm like me, Questman. But I understand, why people do that, because it's the same thing that leads to schools of thoughts and the sets and divisions. But I don't know if you've ever seen this movie called Ip Man. Ip Man is said to be the teacher of Bruce Lee. And for me, there's a parallel. I'm not saying that I'm Ip Man, but I'm saying in the way that Ip Man was towards his kung fu style is the way I see myself towards my art as a hip hop artist. Because he followed the essential rules of hip hop. He followed the essential rules of kung fu, but he saw something more to where he was able to develop a unique style that made him superior to all the other people of his day and age. You understand? He was like the top dude. You got to check out Ip Man movies. Now they're movies, but there was actually a person that these movies were based off of, and he was the teacher of ones like Bruce Lee. So that's what I got out of the movie, because a lot of his opponents from his own people ended up being people that were hating on his style because he wasn't orthodox. He wasn't following the narrow-minded collection of how they think things should be done. He saw that there was more of a science, a bigger deal, a bigger way. He saw that kung fu wasn't limiting, that there was ways you could demonstrate it to your advantage while not sacrificing the principles of kung fu as they understood it. Similarly, there are methods in hip hop which if you ever listen to my lyrics, you know I still follow the essential rules of upholding to the culture of it. You understand? But you know, I like to snap out of it and demonstrate my style. Yeah. So in a way that I would like the idea that when you hear my performance, that you're just as geeked up as I get when I'm performing it. You understand? That's like, I'm right there with you in the living room while you got the iPod on rocking. Like, oh man, this is Questman right here. Like, really? How'd you get here? It'd be like that. you feel like I'm right there next to you. Yeah. So that's what I have for you today, dear family. Be sure to make sure you put some commentary on the question at hand, because this is what we're dealing with today. And any kind of I don't know how much many of you know about like warfare, but if you understand warfare, there's always anthems, music, motivation involved. When the Ottomans were invading the Byzantine Empire, they had these huge drums that led the way. So before you even saw the Ottomans show up, you heard the huge drums, boom, 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 showing up. So the people were already freaking out because they heard the way these drums would sound. And then when the actual warriors showed up, the soldiers came up, it's like, oh shoot, we're doomed. Go ahead, we put up the flag, we're done. So that's kind of how that's kind of how we have to see hip hop as the voice before the war. You understand? The voice before the battle. And that means we have to protect and preserve the virtues, the values, the ideals that hip hop stand for, because this is ours. People can try to hijack and sabotage, but that's not hip hop. This is ours. It's just like the authentic, the thorough brothers and sisters of scripture. When you say something that's not matching up to the core values that they believe, they're going to call you out on it. Nah, that's not what we believe. Well, you Muslims, you do. No, we don't. That guy did, that Arab did, or that this person did, and nothing against Arab, but this is the kind of way they like to paint the picture, like somehow somebody you saw on TV who happened to be of a certain ethnicity. Now somehow we all get associated with that as if that was the description of all. Like, no, that's just not so. And I think if you guys were to travel abroad, especially like to the motherland, you will see how those effects take place in the motherland when it comes to what it means to be what I stand upon as virtue in my battle against vice. Said that in a rhyme too, by the way. So, man. So yeah, this is day one in this effort, in this journey, family, of this new, brand new. Take the plastic off, take the wrapper off and all that kind of stuff. Check it out, because there's heart and soul embedded into every lyric, every song that you listen to, every verse, and I pray that you enjoy. I'm going to leave it at that, dear family, and just kind of sign out like that. I'm going to go out with these little promo videos right here, just to remind you, nothing more, just to remind you, and salute to all those who participated in making this happen, and I have great deal of respect anyway by default. And brothers and sisters, just keep staying unified, keep staying solid. Nothing's done. The battle isn't lost. There's casualties in war. There's people that get taken captive. People that get taken hostage in war. From our own lives. So this comes with the environment of, rising up in the face of tyranny, that some of our own, get taken hostage. That's what's happening. When somebody's taken without any justified reason, without any real justifying reason, against their will, that's a hostage you've got. You've taken a hostage right there because they didn't do anything actually wrong. You just lied and pressed the idea that somehow they did, when all that are involved, all that know that these brothers and sisters are innocent. But since we know your game plan, since we know your agenda, we know that this is what you do. So meanwhile, we're going to grab mics, we're going to put boots on the ground and keep on being solid, keep on being unified with the real, whether it be just a select few of us or a massive population of us. So be it. Let's get the job done. This is your brother Questman, aka Abdul Wadud family. And yes, indeed, the music is coming out. The music is out. The singles is out. The album is approaching very soon. Very soon. Very soon. Yes, indeed. So that's what I have for you today. And yeah, take care. I'm just going to share. I'm going to share it from the YouTube and do it that way. Mm-mm. And I hope you. The way these songs, are presented, because I feel the songs. I feel them. I'm trying to sign out, but this is how my thoughts work sometimes. So let me go ahead and just do it like this. Boom. Okay.
This little light, I remember, and it came with one of my earliest memories. Barely 5 years old, standing in a church choir, the first song I had ever sung. I'm no singer, but I remember. How could I forget my father, who taught me how to fix and manifest? So now, do you understand my quest, man? Just making sure the light works.
I'm right here. See, life's a test. So the journey is going along my way. So just passing through. Life's a test. But along the way, I just had a few things to get off my chest. Observing the world around me. As I manifest knowledge for self. But can you do me this one small favor? What's that? Get out of it!
Are you sick of having issues?